Stop recording. Hey, what it do, you stupid, beautiful bitches. Alright, well, we're doing another Ignarist Take, of course, and I actually had to run to the store, grab some food, because I didn't realize I had food. So I kind of forgot what we were all talking about, so I guess it's all a surprise from here on out now, is it? I mean, I technically could sneak on really quick and check it out. I actually do know what we're talking about. Various different stories, and kind of one big collaborative one. But overall, pretty simple and sweet. Yeah, so we're just gonna kind of get into it. I'm loading my bowl, ceremonial start bowl. I mean, look at me. I mean, I start this shit with a brew. Look, see, I got the brew. I got the joint. I got the shades of just because the smoke is harder to get in my eyes. So there you go, dude. Boom, boom, shakalaka. Anyway, so loading my shit up. I also have some adulterated root beer, if you know what I'm saying. So I literally just like finished making my food, sat down, and just started recording this shit. So if I'm kind of breathing a little bit, it's because I just ran around a lot lately in just like the last 10 minutes. Anyway, also I have friends that want to hang out, and I'm just like, well, shit. Wow, why can't I just be a lonely incel, bro? Go away. I'm just kidding. Anyway, you always gotta make the light and humor of your life. So, anyway, that's not a confirmation I'm an incel, by the way, you fucks. So, anyway, now that I got bowl loaded, I'm sure it's clogged. Oh, actually, I should tell you guys the strain I found, dude. I shit you not. This stuff is literally called dog shit cherry pie. It's 27% THC, so it's some high caliber shit. And let me tell you what, it is some high caliber shit. When I was in the dispensary grabbing this shit, there was another dude in there who obviously was from the 90s growing up smoking this stuff. And he's like, dude, that dog shit has probably been around since the 90s. Not like literally this plant, but, you know, like the strain itself. And I'm like, shit. I didn't say it, but it's like the only dog shit I know of is that Chichichanjuk, which honestly I feel like that's kind of a play on reference to the literal dog shit strain that you could find at the time. Anyway, whatever. I'm still sober right now. As some of my adulterated alcoholic root beer. Oh, I kind of let slip there, did I? And I was weak. It'll get better later. Ooh, this is kind of exceptionally creamy right now. Tasty shit. All right. Let's get right into it. Florida man. Can't have an Ignarist Take without a Florida man. Oh, shit, hold up. I didn't mean for those to kind of slide. Ah, shit. I gotta do some, fuck. Oh, no! Damn it. Here, I'll just F11 that No, wrong one. F11 this bit. There we go. F11. Your best friend, F11. Anyway, well, I guess you got a sneak peek of some of my stories. Florida man, an officer, was fired after arresting two 6-year-olds. Lovely. Yeah, let me make sure my shit's okay. I gotta make sure stuff was scrolling. OBS was being a douche earlier. It was being a fat butt. Anyway, Orlando Police Chief Orlando Rolon said there was no choice but to fire the reserve officer after he arrested the children. What the fuck? Is this the guy? Here, let's listen into it. I hope it's not loud. Don't be loud. Please don't be loud.
The arrest happened at this Orlando charter school. 2 children in separate incidents arrested and sent to a juvenile detention center.
What the fuck? Okay, you know what? Hold on. Let's actually... Well, I guess they'll probably explain it in the video.
One, a 6-year-old girl, was handcuffed, fingerprinted, and photographed for a mugshot.
What the fuck? A 6 dude! Why? Okay, are they gonna get into it?
Her grandmother spoke to TV station WKMG.
Why the grandma?
Says the child misbehaved because she was tired, allegedly kicking a staff member.
Okay, for her, she was tired and kicked... Oh my god, really? Jesus Christ. Wow. That's just stupid, dude. It's a 6-year-old. Good grief. If a kid's tired, let the kid take a damn nap. Shit, they're 6. She is 6. She's not cognitively like aware that what she's exactly doing is inherently bad and not a good thing to do. Oh my god, really? Come on, people. I had to start off with a juicy one. I had to start off with a juicy hot take.
No 6-year-old child should be able to tell somebody that they had handcuffs on them and they were riding in the back of a police car and taken to a juvenile detention center to be fingerprinted.
She said,
I mean, I kind of agree with her, low-key. Unless this kid literally, like, killed a motherfucker or some shit. It's just like, unless this kid like killed somebody or literally, actual, like, a literal crime or something, I can see that. But because you're tired and you're kicking a fucking staff member, put the kid in, like, one of the timeout rooms or whatever the fuck at, like, the school. Let the kid, like, take a nap and let her think about what she did and talk to her, and shit, with a counselor or whatever the fuck. Really? Really? Oh my god. Is there more? Is this the guy? Is this the man? Is this our proud boy right here? No, this is Officer Dennis Turner. Oh no, he was the reserve officer. So was him. Wow, you look. What the fuck? Oh my god, you look like a winner, dude. Look at that. Like, what's it? Steve Harvey? Yeah, from fucking Family Feud. Steve Harvey. You got like that fucking Steve Harvey mustache, bro. And Steve Harvey's known for being a big piece of shit. I don't know what I was trying to say earlier. What was the other incident? Was there a second child, a 6-year-old boy, was arrested in a separate incident at the same school, was preceded, later released to a relative, or processed. Michael Dean, the head of the juvenile division of the prosecutor's office, said Monday that his office was alerted that the boy was on his way to juvenile detention center and he intervened so the boy wouldn't be spent time in the center. At least this guy was like, let's stop this kid from coming over here. Oh God, what happened here? Oh, well, okay, whatever. Looks like a winner. State attorney for the Ninth Judicial, whatever. The girl's case was dismissed. Well, at least it seemed like it too will be immediately. Okay, so it seems like for both cases, they're not actually gonna merit anything at the end of the day. But still, like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell? Like, seriously? Like, come on. Like, I mean, for me, this is just like, come on, dude. It's like, there's such a more rational way to handle a kid being belligerent. I mean, for the most part, it looks like she's just kind of a relatively normal kid. And honestly, that sounds like a normal kid thing to do. Because, yeah, when I was 6, I know I had my tantrums. Shit. All right. Well, that's pretty much all about that one. I was just like, what the fuck? I just kind of wanted to just check it out. But here's another what the fuck story. United Airlines passenger got stuck in a jet's bathroom, forcing a landing in Denver. Oh, this one made me laugh. I love this one. I actually got some food too, so I'm gonna eat some of that real quick. Here's the crunch. Fuck yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm talking about mouthful. Fuck you. A United Airlines flight was rerouted to a Denver airport after a passenger got stuck in the jet's bathroom. How did you get? Oh my god, whoa, there's a video? Oh my god, please tell me there's a video. Where's the video? There's no video? No. Oh my god, I almost choked on my food. No! You cannot tell me this happened and not show a fucking video if there's a video. How dare you? Okay, I'm actually going to, like, look this shit right the fuck up right now. I'm looking this up right now. Hold up. I'm doing this so you don't have to see the secrets. I need to see this. I need to see the video, dude. I need to see the video. now. Please, please, please. Oh my god, yes, they found it! Oh my god! Holy shit! Oh my god! Yes! Yes! We found it! Yes! Oh shit! Oh my god! How did this happen? Oh my god, look at everybody. What is this construction worker looking about? What are these construction crew looking motherfuckers do? What are they, what is happening in this scenario? How's this guy like flipped around in his seat? What's going on here? He's taking a picture. Oh my god, dude. Oh, that's just too good. That's just too sustain the excellent work and bringing in the group. Holy shit! Oh my god! All right, a flight 1554 from Washington D.C. to San Francisco. Damn, what a long flight! Had to make a pit stop at Denver International on Wednesday night to assist a customer who was in a lavatory. When the lavatory door became inoperative, a United Airlines spokeswoman told NBC News. A passenger was safely freed from the bathroom once the aircraft landed. It's not clear how long the customer is trapped. Oh my god, how did this happen? How did this happen, dude? Oh my god, how do you trap yourself in a laboratory? Oh my god. Wait, what? One rescuer is heard in the video telling the passenger that he would get her out soon. I didn't hear that. United said customers were put in a different plane and have since reached their destination. I would assume so. Oh my god. I love this. I just love hearing. Dude, honestly, NBC, I'm not gonna lie. You have a tendency to have some really interesting stories from time to time, y'all. Yeah, I might as well get rid of this shit here. And here's another one. Wisconsin woman accused of hiding mom's corpse to cash checks. No! What a world, what a world. Let me just chug this. What a world, man. Here, let me smoke this too. Because, Jesus. What, like... Where'd my torch go? I had it. No. Oh, here it is. I found it. Oh my god. Why? So Paula and Bergold had told a neighbor and told the police that her mom had gone out of town, but the woman was really dead and stored it in the bait. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. No. No. That's like me hiding Robert in the crawl space of my house so I can cash his social security checks. That's just so fucked up. Why? Oh my god, it's so gross too. Imagine the smells and oh god. Like, what is wrong with this person? Why? You couldn't just like at least done the dignity of burying your mom somewhere and then just fabricate the story. It probably could have gone on a little longer. It probably would have succeeded, and then it could have made a missing report, and then, you know, just made this whole big cabal or some shit. But, oh my god, man. What the hell? What the hell? I need, let me smoke this real quick. Oh, I need to text a friend, too. Alright, well, let's get into the story. Oh, sweet Jesus. That's, oh man, what a winner. Wisconsin woman, Wisconsin, hid her mom's body for weeks after she died so she could keep cashing the dead woman's Social Security and pension checks, officials said. Paula Ann Bergald, 60. You're 60. You could just have your own. Really? A resident of Marionette, Wisconsin, had been charged with 3 criminal counts: failure to report a death, hiding a corpse, and obstructing an officer, according to a complaint filed by Marionette County Assistant District Attorney Tessa Button. For weeks, the neighborhood of 89-year-old Rudy Bergald was concerned she hadn't seen her elderly friend and was asking Marionette County Sheriff's deputies to perform a welfare check, according to prosecutors. Makes sense. Deputies at least made 2 visits to Bergald's home on the 12th and 13th, and no one answered the door. On the 13th visit, on the September 13th visit, deputies found handwritten notes were left around the property. Ruby had gone out of town to visit some friends of ours, signed by Paula Bergald, who lives nearby. Then finally, last week, Paula Bergald allegedly told investigators that her mom had died in a chair inside her house that's about 50 miles north of Green Bay. Why was that fact needed? Paula says she wanted to call police when she found Ruby, but just couldn't bring herself to do it. What? What? Wait, what? And she kept thinking she would call tomorrow, but never did. Wait, what? What the fuck? Hold up. You never... You couldn't bring yourself to call the... What? But you could bring yourself to go hide her in your fucking basement. What? Oh my god, dude! What is wrong with people? No, what? No, 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 no. Wrong. Wrong. No. 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 What rationale is this? The daughter eventually moved her mom's body into a tub and stashed it in the basement, hoping that borax, a cleaning agent, and mothballs would kill the smell. Oh my god. What is wrong with you, lady? Okay, I don't... You need to be in a mental institute, bitch. What the fuck is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? God, what is... No. Just no. No, 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 no. Can I go on? Can I... What the... What is wrong with this bitch? What... Oh, shit. I think I need... Do I need to take a walk? Like, holy... I need a minute. I actually fundamentally, like, need a minute. Oh, Jesus. What is wrong with this bitch? What? Oh, shit. Man. This is why I fundamentally wonder about humanity, dude. Because you got crazy bitches like this that exist in society. Like, that can't bring themselves to report a death of their fucking mom, but can, like, drag her corpse around in her tub and then the basement, hoping that a cleaning agent and mothball... Oh my god. Psycho. Ugh. Wow. Holy shit, man. Whew. Oh my god. What the fuck? Talk about abandoned hope, man. TJ Kirk, start doing shit on this. In fact, start doing more abandoned hopes. Oh, fuck, dude. I need to, like, load a bowl right now. Hold on. God, dude. Like, I just kind of looked at that story thinking it might have been just, like, something a little nutty. Like, she didn't think about calling the cops. She's like, oh, I'll just contrive this plan or something. Like, nah, this was just some crazy shit, dude. That was just some psycho shit. That was some psycho bitch shit, dude. What the fuck? Oh, I need to grind some too. God damn it. Did I even bring it in it? Did I even bring it with me? Oh, I did. Okay, yeah, I forgot. I had the whole container to tell you about the strain. Yeah. God, man, that threw me for a loop. Jesus. Ugh. I don't even know if I want to go on. Well, you know what? I do, because the rest of the next story is actually kind of an optimistic story. Surprisingly. Ironically, has to do with Iran. Oh. Iran, but this positive? What? Really? I never knew that could be such a thing. Believe me, it can. Believe me, tremendous. God, even just doing that did not help. God, I don't, dude. That fucking crazy bitch is gonna be on the back of my mind now. Oh fuck. Ah! God, what the hell? What the hell's wrong with people, man? All right, well, I know as soon as I smoke this, I'm gonna start forgetting it. So, you know what? I think I'm already starting to. I'm starting to feel better. I think I just need to do that little, like, last little burst there. That last little, like, I think that helped. I think that also helped too. A nice little deep breath. What a world. What a world, man. But hey. I guess, that's why the whole meme of, quote, we live in a society is indeed a meme. Because, despite our beliefs, you're not going to be able to, like, establish that fundamentally, because you got crazy fucks like this. Never will fundamentally work, because of shit like that. Ah, fun. All right, well, I know I'm taking my time. Sweet Jesus. Sweet baby Jesus on a pedestal. Man. I'm just glad I don't have to, like, look at that fucking crazy bitch anymore. If the thumbnail is that crazy bitch, I'm keeping it for all of y'all to be haunted by. Okay, here we go. Got it loaded, squared away. Got it kind of cached the rest of what I kind of smoked out. There we go. Bag of bing, bag of boom, shag a bang. You know how it is. You know how it be. You know what it was. Fuck. I gotta get, like, a plug, because there's my bowl's hole. My bowl's hole is fat. Yep, chugging that was probably a good idea, because, oh my god, it's helping me forget about the madness of clown world, of a clown world, of a clown world. We believe in everything we say, because we believe it. And we don't need no credibility, because we know that we're fucking incredible. Alright. Well, I got it loaded, so might as well just get the screen on and show you guys. So, Erdogan says it just stopped 10 tons of heroin and opium reaching Europe. Interesting. I thought Iran was, like, the outrageous piece of shit, dogmatistic fuckwits that they are. Well, I guess they kind of are, but I mean, it seems like they're trying to help Europe, I guess, in comparison to places like Saudi Arabia, you know what I'm saying? But, that's just kind of beside the point. I mean, they're still a theocratic Shia fundamentalist barbaric government The people, I would say, are a lot more westernized in comparison. That doesn't say that much because the rural places of Iran are still very theocratic and Shiist and, well, conservative, but like the cities like Tehran and shit like that, well, they're far more, the people at least are far more, quote, westernized in comparison. So, I mean, they don't really like their conservative government. Like, I forgot who told me this, but I had somebody, I think from one of my streams, if I remember, tell me that he knew someone from Iran, and they said that basically, if you can think about how like the conservatives, rural conservatives, took over like a country, like let's say like the Christian conservatives of the United States took over America. That's basically like what happened to Iran now. Like that's kind of what that's kind of like what the anecdote was, and I'm like, yeah, that kind of sounds about right. I mean, because it kind of is. I mean, because the rural countries are pretty much the rural parts of the Iran are totally okay with the government, but I mean the cities, there's a lot more resistance per se. I mean, I don't know when the last one was, but I think like I don't know, maybe a year and a half ago or something. There was like some movement, boycotting some rule that like the religious police was instilling to try to enforce on women and shit, but they were like, fuck that. So I mean, overall, the people, I would say, are a lot more open to Western. I'm just moving. I get this fucking tray away from the edge of this desk. I would say that they are a lot more open to Western, quote, the broader, quote, Western values per se. That doesn't mean all of them, but I would say there's more of an abundance. But anyway, besides the point, let's smoke this bowl and get into the story, right? All right. Iran has seized almost 10 tons of narcotics destined for Europe and uncovered one of the country's largest trafficking rings, police said Thursday. Oh, shit. This huge narcotics shipment, which was hidden in a petrol tanker, and reached here via Iran's eastern border, was supposed to be offloaded and smuggled into European countries, state television reported from northwestern city of Urmia, not far from the Turkish border. Iran's deputy police chief, Ayub Soleimani, I think. Ayub Soleimani. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. Said the shipment comprised of 3.9 tons of morphine, 5.8 tons of opium. He said that the 9 suspected traffickers were arrested with an additional 44 pounds of heroin and 130 firearms in their possession. How in the fuck did they get 130 firearms in the tanker too? God damn. Oh damn! Look at those poppy seeds. What is that? What's he using to pick that with? Interesting. Neighboring Afghanistan produces some 90% of the world's opium, which is extracted from poppy resin and refined to make heroin and morphine. That kind of gives you a hint about why the United States might be there. Just saying. Leveraging law enforcement. Iran is a major transit route for Afghan-produced opioids headed for Europe and beyond. The illegal drugs are often first shipped from Iran and other Asian nations to East Africa, where smuggling networks help to move into Europe and even into the U.S. black market. Interesting. Iran confiscates and destroys hundreds of tons of illicit narcotics every year, according to the latest UN figures. Iran accounted for 91% of the world's opium seizures and 20% of the heroin and morphine seizures in 2017, amounting to 694 and 43 tons, respectively. Iran has repeatedly threatened Europe that if it does not do more to mitigate the impact U.S. sanctions imposed on its economy after President Trump's unilateral withdrawal from the 2015 nuclear deal, it could invest less in combating drug trafficking. Interesting, huh? It's like that if we don't at least try to work with Iran a little bit, that they are willing to just fuck us over too. Weird. It's like that they could play the game too. And you know what? I think they're justified to do something like that. Because the thing is, I think working with Iran on something like this is probably a good idea. Not necessarily because I'm for this drug war idea, but yeah, the black market in drugs, yes, I do see as a problem, mainly because of the drug war. But I think for the United States at least, we should probably at least at the very minimal decriminalize all drugs. But on the world perspective, that's a little different. You can't just say, "Hey, let's like legalize all drugs," and around the world and expect every country to just follow through. So at this for that, you at least what the least you can do is at least try to minimize the impact of the black market has, which is a fool's errand, to be fair. However, it seems like Iran is at least trying to do their quote due diligence on the idea, I suppose. And it seems like the whole idea of instigating with Iran can have even more of a negative impact to Europe. And just think about this. Think about like what Saudi Arabia is doing, and with the war in the Middle East especially that the U.S. has caused. It seems like, I don't know. I mean, not to just literally point everything at the U.S., but it seems like a lot of the actions that the United States has in the Middle East and to Iran and these other nations tend to have an impact around the world as well. So, maybe, just maybe, if we just, as the United States, just pulled the fuck out, stopped instigating a war with fucking Iran, and maybe cooperated with them a little bit, maybe, just maybe, I don't know, there'll be less destabilization in that region. Maybe the people will probably be more open to the quote Western values I was talking about earlier, and maybe we can have a more positive impact to Iran instead of a negative one, just going to war with them and shit. If we want to impact Iran, let's make it at least a positive one. Fuck. Washington pulled that. Hold on. Because the point of what I guess what I'm trying to make is essentially is that, like, I'm not saying like, oh, let's just be super friendly with the Iranian government. Because if anything, you want to work with them against them in a sense. Work it so it's more beneficial to the people there, so they're more influential to your quote values. Essentially, the whole Western values idea of being exported around into these nations and shit, which I've talked about before. I mean, because yes, I do agree that Western values are better than fucking Saudi Arabian, Iranian, or pretty much any Middle Eastern idea, value, culture, or whatever the fuck. That doesn't mean there are some decent, cool, interesting aspects about the Middle Eastern culture that I'm okay with. But that doesn't negate the fact that there's plenty more that is very fucking shitty. So, use it as a benefit for us, but also for the people there to be more influenced by you and your ideas and culture. And it seems like Iran is at least willing to work with Europe to some extent, but they want them to make the U.S. work with them as well to some extent, which I tend to agree with that. Pulling out the Iran nuclear deal was a fundamentally horrible, shitty idea, and also Iran continued to, at least to some extent, to work with the Europe on it. I don't know if they are anymore, but still, I think this. When I saw this article, I mean, to me, it just kind of went, interesting, and seeing the impact that a lot of our sanctions tend to have on issues like this seems to be like, I don't know, a little bit of a reason why a lot of the impact the United States foreign policy has on the world is a lot more impactful than people like try to make it out to be. Essentially, I'm not saying that literally every single fucking thing the U.S. does is, foreign policy wise, influences the literal world, like literally every tiny little microcosm. But when it comes to major players like Iran or Saudi Arabia, or and various different broader issues in Europe relating to those cases with Russia, et cetera, the United States tends to have some influence on that shit, like this one. I mean, they're, like it said down here, like they're willing to invest less if they don't if Europe, just on a broader scale, doesn't mitigate the impact of what the U.S. does. So, because they obviously don't trust the U.S. to, work with them. So they're looking to their last people they, quote, trust enough to at least do something. Which says a lot about our own foreign policy and our own foreign relations more than anything. Anyway, this one I actually got a little collaborative with because I feel like this one's a little bit of a fake news. But I don't know. I just kind of read the headline and I was like, I don't know, but we'll see. Wall Street Democratic donors warned the party, "We'll sit out or back Trump if you nominate Elizabeth Warren." So I obviously have my criticisms, and I'm so for this one, like I know last time I was just like pretty harsh on her, but you know what? I'm gonna at least, I kind of have a lot that is gonna bash her honestly on these articles, but I mean, I'm gonna at least try to get my most realistic view for this at the end of it. But anyway, let's just get into it. We'll get into it. Democratic donors on Wall Street and in big business are preparing to sit out the presidential campaign fundraising cycle, or even back Donald Trump if Senator Elizabeth Warren wins the party nomination. In recent weeks, CNBC spoke out to several high-dollar Democratic donors and fundraisers in the business community and found that this opinion was becoming widely shared as Warren, an outspoken critic of big banks and corporations, gained momentum against Joe Biden in the 2020 race. And also, I think recently she started beating Biden in some polls now. So I guess in some polls now she's considered a front runner. You're in a box because you're a Democrat and you're thinking, I want to help the party, but she's going to hurt me, so I'm going to help President Trump. What the fuck? Said a senior private equity executive who spoke on a condition of anonymity in fear of retribution by party leaders. Oh my God. The executive said this Wednesday, a day after Speaker Nancy Pelosi announced that the House would begin a formal impeachment inquiry into Trump. Oh yeah, because that shit's going on too. During the campaign, Warren has put out multiple plans intended to curb influence of Wall Street, including a wealth tax. In July, she released a proposal that will make private equity firms responsible for debts and pension obligations of companies they buy. Trump, meanwhile, has given wealthy business leaders a helping hand to mention, Warren has sworn off taking Trump has been spokesman for some yeah. So they will not support her. It will be like shutting down their industry. Not necessarily. So I think she can throw the tax code 27 I think if she can show that tax code 2017 was basically nonsense and only helped corporations, Wall Street would not like the public thinking about that. Well, interesting. What's this right here? Yeah, before Obama's like this campaign took over $1 million from employees like Goldman Sachs, according to non-post. Yeah. All right. So overall, how do I kind of feel about this? I mean, I feel like that because of the anonymity and stuff, and just kind of being a little vague, which is going to hurt me, so I'm going to help President Trump because, at the end of the day, they know at least he would, especially give him the most benefits. Because, honestly, I am not 100% too sure. I don't feel that this is genuine. Mainly because, well, I mean, I have these articles here to kind of explain it. Well, not necessarily. I also have a video here. But, I mean, we'll just kind of let them kind of do to explain, I suppose. Because, I mean, this one, I think that if anyone knows about the whole, the pledge to not take big donor money, well, I think people will be kind of familiar with this clip.
Will you apply in the primaries, or will you carry this over to the general election or any other election you'll have going forward?
So this is for primaries. Look, I do not believe in unilateral disarmament. We need to win. We need to win in 2020. And when we hit 2020 and we're in a race against Donald Trump, when we're in a race for control of the Senate and control of the House and in control of the state houses and the governor's mansions, in all of those, the Republicans are going to be bringing a lot of money, a lot of power, a lot of dark money, a lot of super PACs, all to the fight. We play by the same rules. And in that one, I say we got to be all in.
We play by the same rules. And if that's the case, I say we go all in. Weird. You want to go all in on taking money? Like big money, the dark money, all that? Because that's what you were saying the Republicans do. And you say we should play the same game. So you want to do that? Okay. That sounds like kind of a little problem. That's why it seems like, I don't... That's why I feel like the anonymity part about this being in fear of retribution is because, well, they want to try to give a little bit more of a... Even with the anonymity, they know. I want to try to give more bolster for a Warren to make her seem like she's more progressive than Bernie because she's the actual threat now. Anyway. Here's another one because she also attended Martha's Vineyard dinner hosted by big bank executive Robert Wolf. Warren, one of the senator's fiercest Wall Street critics, attended a Democratic donor retreat over the weekend, hosted by former UBS bank executive Robert Wolf, who last year lashed out against politicians that targeted Wall Street for political gain. Wolf hosted Warren as part of Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee's annual donor retreat in Martha's Vineyard. He wrote on Twitter that he was honored, to host Warren, who was joined by other Democratic senators at the fundraiser. Wolf, a financial backer and friend of former President Barack Obama and a Clinton Foundation donor, and a co-chair of the 2016 Democratic National Convention, the DNC. A co-chair of the DNC back in 2016. Friend of Barack Obama and a Clinton Foundation donor. Honored to have Warren. Curious. Back in 2015, while explaining why he was planning to support Hillary Clinton, Wolf said they thought Warren was too far to the left to win 2016. I think you're going to have to keep to the center, Wolf said on Fox Business in months before Clinton announced her campaign. I don't think if Clinton runs, she could be forced to the left where Elizabeth Warren will likely go. I think we're going to have to stay more in the center. During the DNC convention last July, Wolf criticized candidates such as Warren and Clinton rival Bernie Sanders, who used the term Wall Street as a synonym for economic injustice. Oh. Oh my God. According to a profile by The Hill that portrayed Wolf as the real Wolf of Wall Street. In a Democratic Party where the populist left, led by Senator Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, used the term Wall Street as a synonym for economic injustice, Wolf offers a different... I don't know why I keep wanting to put Wolf in everything. Offers a different perspective. Quote, Jonathan Swan. Wolf said that he was growing tired of politicians that stereotype Wall Street. Pfft, fuck you. Wall Street are Americans just like everyone else. And yeah, and that's why they should, pay their fair share just like every other fucking American, right? 2 months earlier, Warren launched a new coalition of lawmakers and liberal groups called the Take on Wall Street. That was aimed at passing... Well, I mean, you get the point. But, honored to have her. Too far to the left in 2016, but honored now? You're now honored? Oh, also, Warren and Clinton... I like how NBC is doing this. I like how half of my articles have been from this. Warren and Clinton talk behind the scenes as 2020 race intensifies. Interesting. Is this... no. Is this a different thing? Oh, no, that's another one. That's something else. I thought it was... I had 2 different articles, but I took down the other one. Anyway, Elizabeth Warren team doesn't want to talk about Hillary Clinton, but that doesn't mean the 2020 presidential candidate isn't talking to her party's 2016 nominee. The 2 women have kept a line of communication open since the Massachusetts senator decided to run for president. Though only a conversation around the time of Warren's launch has been previously reported, according to several people familiar with their discussions who spoke to NBC on the coalition of anonymity, because of their political sensitivity of private interactions. It's hard to know exactly how many times they've reached out to each other or precisely what they've discussed, in part because neither camp wants to reveal much of anything about their interaction. I wonder why. Because it's like they have private positions and public positions. Curious. In part because neither camp wants to reveal, and in part because they have each other's phone numbers. And there are many ways for 2 high-powered politicians to communicate that don't involve their staffs. One source was aware of just one additional call between Warren and Clinton since then, but a person who was close to Clinton said in contact has been substantial enough to merit attention, describing a conversation between the two seemingly recent because it was front of mind for her. That clearly was not gone unnoticed, and I think she really appreciates that, the person close to Clinton said. Clinton is a fraught subject for the Democratic contenders, perhaps for none so much like as Warren, who, in the shadow of Clinton's defeat, is seeking to become the second woman to win the party nod and the first woman to elected president. As she seeks to blend her movement-based progressive campaign with the Democratic establishment, long wary of her populist brand of politics, Warren has been maintaining and creating relationships with a wide array of Democratic establishment figures. And if the race of the nomination goes long, many Democrats now predict Clinton could become pivotal as an ally, an adversary, or a neutral observer. More immediately, Warren would no doubt like to win over support from Clinton voters, particularly women and women of color, as she battles Senators Bernie Sanders of Vermont, former Vice President Joe Biden, and the rest of the field that trails the top-tier triumvirate. I love that. Particularly women. You got to get the woke. You got to get the woke crowd while you're at it. But Warren has made little effort to publicly highlight ties to Clinton, who's perceived by many on the left as too centrist. She's an outright corporatist. And who was defeated in an election. Clinton and her allies believe it was heavily colored by President Donald Trump waging it. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That what a fucking naive way to think about it. A misogynistic campaign. Yeah, it's totally not because Hillary Clinton is literally a corrupt corporatist piece of shit. At the same time, people who know and like both women say there are more similarities between them than some of their partisans would like to admit. Yeah. No, there is definitely similarities between them. Each is a policy powerhouse with an uncommon command of details and possesses the ability to master new material quickly with deep intellectual curiosity. Like Clinton, Warren focused the early part of her campaign on developing a raft of policy proposals and rolling them out. More important, explicit or implicit blessing from Clinton would help Warren if she helps herself battling for delegates and superdelegates in a contested Democratic convention next summer. Because, it actually says it right here. Hillary Clinton would absolutely have influence over a number of delegates to this convention, said Deb Kozukowski, the vice chair of the Massachusetts Democratic Party. So Hillary Clinton still has influence over the DNC, and has been, at least recently enough, warnered attention. Oh, by the way, I love how Warren has kind of started to adopt the fucking, where is it? She's starting to adopt the blue jacket shit that Hillary does. What the fucking jacket is this, dude? God, well, look at her. Oh, God, it's been so long since I've seen her crooked face. Anyway. I just kind of thought hold up. I put this in the wrong spot. Also, I mean, it seems like, yeah, well, so what if she's kind of centristy? That doesn't mean much. Well, it kind of does when she's voting for massive increases of war budgets. Because the thing is, for someone, I like to stay principled and making sure that the candidate I support is staunchly anti-war and staunchly so. And Bernie, I know, is not that because he's still for drone strikes and shit like that. But, however, I still know that he's the better case in comparison to her because her foreign policy is far more shittier. So much worse because, you know what? She actually wanted to increase more than what Trump was even asking for. Because the bill increased spending was about $80 billion, and Trump wanted $54 billion. So she wanted more? You want to continue to profit the military-industrial complex as well? Curious enough. Oh, I also remember this one here, too. Where I just had it, actually. It wasn't... Where I just remove it from? Right here. Okay. To be fair, this isn't really... Oh, right here. Why would Warren give Trump, a commander-in-chief, greater arsenal, which to maim and kill civilians and our military service members if he is dangerous and criminally unstable, as she claims? Trump asked for $54 billion increase in the military spending, and she agreed with the Republicans that, no, $80 billion is better. She agreed with the Republicans that it should be $80 billion. To be fair, this isn't really so surprising. As a senator from Massachusetts, she's been known to meet regularly with defense contractors from her state, including Raytheon, which is headquartered there. She fought to stop the Army from shifting funds away from military communications products made in her state, lobbied in favor of poorly graded General Dynamics-made products, and promised to protect Massachusetts military bases facilities from defense cuts. So it seems like you're willing to kowtow go away. Kowtow the line of the establishment. Curious enough. It's possible to know the military's exact emissions thanks to the UN's military emissions. Hold up. Warren also recently proposed a plan that would make the military more environmentally friendly. Yeah, because making sure that we're using green renewable energy while we go bomb people is such a great idea, right? She cites military readiness as being under threat from climate change. Everything's under threat from that. The military readiness is the least of my concerns. Let's be clear, with a military budget larger than the next 10 countries combined, America's military is not under threat from anything. Yeah, exactly. The military itself is a major producer of greenhouse gas emissions. Is it possible to know that the military's exact emissions thanks to the UN's military emissions data collection exemption? By 2012, a U.S. congressperson said that the Department of Defense consumed about 117 million barrels of oil in 2011, only a fraction less than the fuel used by all the cars in Great Britain that same year. So it could be different now, but I don't know. So that's the most recent data on that shit. Damn. Warren's proposal completely ignores that many of the military's most greenhouse gas emitting activities have no environmentally friendly alternatives. With this bill, Warren is attempting to use climate change as a way to benefit the military-industrial complex, but really as a massive defunding of the military is the only way to make it environmentally friendly. And also reinvesting that into renewable technology, renewable infrastructure, shit like that. I don't know. I don't know. It seems like you're just using climate change to rally progressives, to actually push your agenda of more war, because we got to benefit the corporatist military line. Anyway, so this one kept popping up. So I kind of found this one a little funny, but I don't even know what this site is. Egbert or Willie's. Many of my good friends are concerned that Elizabeth Warren or any other woman would suffer the same fate as Hillary Clinton. I don't think any other... What did I just do? Get out of here. Okay, I don't think any other woman would suffer the same fate as Hillary Clinton. If Tulsi actually was able to make the nomination, I think she could probably make it. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, she ain't going to make it anyway, so I just kind of don't think about that. So, no. I hate the stupid argument of like, oh, it's the misogynies and the sexism. This is why you're not voting for her. It's like, no. It's not that at all. If you listen, maybe it's because, I don't know, she's very friendly to the military-industrial complex, increases military war budgets while publicly is saying, oh, I'm against it, and seems to genuinely actually kind of collude with Hillary a little bit, and actually goes privately to talk to big bank donors and executives, and is willing to in the nomination. Said it in this interview here. I don't know. I don't think it's the sexisms. Let me first of all tell you that she fell short. Whatever. I don't know. That said, Trump and his team maximized their effort to use social media that Hillary should have matched, but turned down from the Facebook team. There's a degree of arrogance. Okay, here we go. So I feel compelled to write this after listening to many of my boomer friends and their fear that Elizabeth Warren will suffer the same fate as Hillary Clinton. All right. So I guess here's where the realistic perspective comes in. Do I think she will suffer the same fate as Hillary? Losing like she did in 2016? I mean, at the end of the day, I really don't know. I mean, I really don't. I don't think it's likely. I mean, I don't think it's likely for her to win. But I don't know. Considering her good and very manipulative way to kowtow progressives to her team, it's very likely that she probably could. You know, I don't underestimate her because I don't underestimate the DNC and what they want. It's pretty obvious who they're looking at. It's pretty obvious. It's going to be literally between Warren or Bernie at this point. And this is why Bernie needs to just go all fucking in, dude. This is why he needs to go all in. He's not doing that hard enough. He's not doing that enough. He needs to go farther, go harder, go for the fucking jugular. Not literally. Don't, like, literally start shanking motherfuckers. But, like, go out there and actually push to fucking and be principled and actually push your fucking idea. Because guess what, guys? You know, yeah, Warren is good with some of these different things. You know, yeah, she, there was actually something, there was, what was it, in here, I think? I don't know if it was in here. There was I forgot what article. There was an article I had somewhere. But it was actually talking about some genuine positive things about, did I delete it? I think I probably did. Did I get rid of it? Well, what's this down here? No, what the fuck is this? Okay. Warren or Sanders will make that error as clear as skewing a process from media. The use of Obama love to fear based on false narrative. I don't know. Well, doesn't say it in here, but I thought I had somewhere, but yes, it's not in this. Anyway, wasn't it here? Maybe. Oh yeah, I think it was actually in this article. Let me go up here. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, here we go. So she has a long history of finding big money interests, which is no small victory in political system controlled by big money. Examples of her include reintroduction of the Glass-Steagall Act, a modern version of the 1933 Regulatory Banking Act. She also pushed for the criminal prosecution of the HSBC after a taxation evasion scandal. She's been impressively consistent in the importance of banking reform. As presidential candidate, she posed a number. Yeah, so sweeping student loan forgiveness program, universal child care, improved abortion access, Medicare for all. The thing is, also, she's not even 100% for Medicare for all, because when she actually talks about it, she never mentions the word single payer. And that is an actual universal healthcare system, and that is what actual Medicare for all is. So just saying Medicare for all doesn't necessarily mean you're for it. Just saying. Anyway, guess who is for these things but wants to go further? Bernie. Sleeping student loan forgiveness program. He just wants to wipe this slate clean. Fuck it. Universal child care. Outright universal health care, which includes that and dental, eye care, etc., whole 9 yards. Approved abortion access, well, he's for that, so, yeah. I don't know. To be fooled by private positions, but I got public positions, but I have private positions, Warren. I don't know, I don't feel it. I'm not feeling the Warren burn, you know what I'm saying? Call my standards, quote, too high, but methinks that we can't trust her. Does that mean that she could potentially win? Sure. It's always a chance. Always is. But just don't be fooled about who she is. Just acknowledge, at least at the very least, just know who you're voting for. Just know that you're voting for a milquetoast, subpar, neoliberal establishment Democrat. That's just who she is. Yeah, there are some establishment Democrats out there that have a few good things about them, like de Blasio was good, or Jay Inslee, his name is, I think. I forget who all these Mish Mash of corporate shitheels are. But Inslee is, you know, he had a few good things for you via climate change and shit like that. And, I mean, Marianne Wilson, I literally can't think of anything. You know, like, everyone has, like, their little pet issue that they might be good on. But that don't mean at the end of the day, they themselves are good. So just pretty much at the end of the day, just know who you're voting for. If you're fine with this neoliberal, like, let's continue to end this wars and genocide that that is going on in Yemen, and continue all this destabilization in the Middle East and instigation with Iran and shit, while they're actually, to some extent, willing to work with the modern world to some extent. Like, Jesus. Americans' trust in mass media edges down to 41%. I wonder why. I think some of the stuff we were talking about earlier has to do with this. Like, when you have a bunch of big donors talking about how they're fearful of war and shit, but yet she seems like, at the end of the day, sometimes she actually kind of falls in line with them. And you wonder why there's a distrust in them. Americans remain largely mistrustful of the mass media, as 41% currently have a fair amount of trust in newspapers, television, and radio report. That's still a very high number. I think that's too high. The latest reading represents a 4 percentage point dip since last year, and marks the end of improvements in back-to-back years after hitting an all-time low. Although trust in media has edged down this year, it is well above the record low of 32% in 2016. When Republicans' trust dropped precipitously, I said that so badly. Precipitously. Whatever, I'm just going with it. And drove the overall trust rating down during the divisive presidential campaign. Republicans' trust is still at a very low level, and a wide gap in views in the media among partisans persists, as 69% of Democrats say that they have trust and confidence in it, while 50% of Republicans and 36% independents agree. Trust in the mass media remains low. After hitting the low points 3 years ago, U.S. adults' trust in the accuracy of the mass media appear to be rebounding, increasing 13 points over 2 years. Yet the latest reading from September 3rd to the 15th Gallup poll found the levels matching those in 2017. Oh, here they are. Here they are. Here they are. I just realized the mic was I'm almost kissing the mic. Ooh, beautiful. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, they do. Shit. Gallup first measured trust in mass media in 1972 survey when 68% of Americans said they trusted it. Similar levels were recorded in 1974, 69%, and 1976, 72%. But 2 decades later, when Gallup next asked the question, trust had fallen to 53%. Although overall trust was the majority level until 2004, no more than 21% of Americans dating back to 1972 ever said that they had the greatest level of trust. Currently, 13% have the greatest deal of trust, 28% a fair amount, 30% not so much, and 28% none at all. I'm kind of on the 30%, not very much, because there will be like that rare snippet where there will be like some mainstream media that will do some decent work. That's like, all right, I'll give you where it's due. I'll give you that credit where it gets its due diligence. But it's like the exception to the rule. If it wasn't the exceptions, I would be the none at all. But because of these exemptions that I could point to every now and then, very rarely, like I remember like Chris Hayes did like a whole segment literally calling out the Yemen genocide. I mean, literally, he even called it that for what it was, and called that we should not do this anymore. We should stop it. Like, I mean, so that would be a point where I'd say, all right, CNN, credit where it's due, I suppose, but that's an exemption to your rule. Just to let you know. Doesn't mean that you're good. Doesn't mean that you're, like, suddenly, like, good media and journalism. Like, that's what you should have been doing, like, the entire time. Like, if CNN was doing shit like that all the time, I would probably say, all right, I trust them. Sure. Yeah, they actually put out good journalism, and they actually try to call out shit where it's needed and stuff. Sure, yeah, I trust them to at least, call out, spade for a spade and shit. That's at least the very least. If you at least can just present the factual information and then just kind of let us, and then at the very least, just what's happened, then fine. That's all that journalism needs at the end of the day. Have the commentary after that. and let it, and then that commentary can be discussed amongst that audience or whatever the fuck, Anyway, so this just really shows that no one really does trust mainstream media anymore. I mean, I just kind of thought this was really interesting to show. But I kind of feel like, again, all of it is a little collaboratory, because this is kind of a little related. But I think I found it funny because it was from the New York Times. Do we really understand fake news? I think we are sharing facts, but are we really expressing emotions in the outrage factory? What? Given how much it's talked, tweeted, and worried over, you'd think we know a lot about fake news, and in some sense we do. We know that false stories pose legitimate journalism have been used to try to sway elections. We know that they help spread conspiracy theories. They may even cause false memories. And yet, we also know that the term fake news has become a trope so widely used and abused that it no longer serves its original function. Really? Why is that? And why, given our supposed knowledge of it, is fake news, and the actual phenomenon is still effective? Reflection on our emotions, altogether with a little help from contemporary philosophy of language and neuroscience, are just oh my goodness. Let's get very intellectual with this, guys. All right. We are often confused about the role that emotion plays in our lives. For one thing, we like to think with Plato that reason drives the chariot of our mind and keeps the unruly wild horses of emotion in line. But most people will probably admit that much of the time, Hume was closer to the truth when he said that the reason is slave of passions. Moreover, we often confuse our feelings with reality itself. Something makes us feel bad, so we say it's bad. As a result, our everyday actions and communication can function as vehicles for emotion without our noticing it. This was a point highlighted by mid-20th century philosophers in language, often called expressivists. Their point was that people sometimes think they are talking about facts when they're really expressing themselves emotionally. You mean reactionaries? Expressivists sound like reactionaries. Or, people who, do feelings over facts. Ben Shapiro. Their point was that people sometimes think they're talking about facts when they're really expressing themselves. The expressivists or reactionaries applied this thought quite widely to all ethical communication about right or wrong, good or bad. Even if we don't go that far, their insight says something about what is going on when we share or retweet news, posts, fake or otherwise, online. Okay, well, you know what? I mean, this philosophical aspect, I'm kind of on board with for the most part. I mean, because I think at the end of the day, because this stuff, this makes sense for when it comes to all this shit. So yeah, I mean, for the ignarism part of the Ignarist Take, yes, when it comes to like what is fake news, what isn't. Especially when you look at someone like Trump. When he was using fake news, he was basically just using it to any news that was just negative against him, regardless of what it was. And while every now and then, yes, it was fake news, and I think at the end of the day, he makes a point when he says fake news. But when like let's say like, oh, Trump lied about this, and it was an actual lie or something because he flip flopped or some shit. And he's like, fake news, I never said that. And that's obvious, like reactionary, expressivist mentality, or that's what they were putting here. So at the end of the day, I kind of agree with that. So when sharing routine, we like to think of ourselves as engaging what philosophers would call an act of testimony, trying to convey or endorse knowledge. Not always, of course. Happily, our irony still exists, of course. Yet insincere sharing and retweeting is not the norm. As evidenced by the fact that most people still feel obligated to signal that retweets aren't endorsements. That would make sense if the default wasn't the shares and retweets are endorsements. Honestly, in the back of my mind, I've never thought retweets are endorsements because sometimes I'll retweet shit and I'll just be like, fuck this shit. But sometimes I'll just retweet it just because I think it's interesting, or because it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's not necessarily like I endorse everything this person, did in this tweet or whatever. It's like, oh, here's something interesting. Check it out, or whatever the fuck. I never thought retweeting necessarily means I endorse this. So, I know people sometimes think that, so I think that's kind of why people do that. But for me personally, I just never have. I don't know about anyone else, though. But if we're just confused about the way communication actually functions online, clues can be found in both what we do and what we don't do when sharing content online. Let's start with what we don't do. Current research estimates that at least 60% of news and stories shared online have not even been read by the person sharing them. Well, besides me, look at me. Oh. But I mean, overall, I think that's true, even for myself. I will just kind of read headline. I mean, I've been doing that. I did that to go through these, So I'll look at headlines that I find interesting, and go forward with that. And honestly, there was a lot. I actually kind of trimmed this shit down to do this because there's just a lot to get into. So, it's probably going longer than I should. Anyway, so it's something that I think honestly more people do that more often than not. Than 60%. But I think probably 60% is probably what they just do. It's like, oh, Anthony Maselli, world's oldest working ball, but dies at 108. Oh shit, son. Eddie Murphy's bringing Eddie Murphy back. Oh damn. They need a kid-friendly apartment in Williamsburg. Which did they choose? Oh shit, I don't know, man. They must have chose something out there. Who knows, bro? Actually, I might want to click that. So it's just like, that's kind of what people do. Which I guess is more like 30%. Yeah, 60% just read headlines, because this is in thirds here. Anyway, I like how it's editor's picks. Well, I guess I kind of came in kind of agreeing with this, honestly. Something like this is happening on a massive scale on social media. I don't know. Honestly, I think overall, this is actually kind of something I guess kind of agreed with. I mean, I guess I kind of walked in here assuming otherwise, but yeah. All right. Well, we got one more story, but I'm just gonna go into this right there because it's a follow up from last time. But I just kind of want to smoke out the last little bit of this thing, and I keep fiddling with my mic. I feel like I'm fucking with it too much. I hope I'm not. I'm actually out of my last brew. I need to open another one. So if you, I don't know if anyone wants to take a random guess, but it's a follow-up of a story we did last time. And it was also near the end of the show last time as well. I think it might actually be the same fucking article too. The Guardian. I don't remember what the last one is. I think it was Associated Press. Something like that. Yeah, whatever. Who cares? I kind of like, both are alright. I don't think they're absolutely fundamentally great, but they at least do their due diligence way more than other fucking article links and sites and shit. Far more in comparison. Anyway. Man. This dog shit cherry pie is going to be quite interesting. Well, it ain't quite interesting. It already is. I've been using it for the last few bowls. It's quite good stuff. I love it. Anyway, I guess I might as well just kind of start getting into it a little bit. But I need to finish doing these real quick, yes. I don't know why I did that in that voice. I think you could tell that reality is starting to make me feel like I'm more insane than reality is. I think I'm trying to compete with reality when it comes to insanity. I think I just had an epiphany. I think on a primal instinctual level, I'm trying to feel like I am more crazy than reality itself. Does that make sense? Because I feel like I'm just participate in the chaos, get in the crazy. Bury my dead mother in a basement to grab social security checks. Pressure Iran with sanctions, so they put more heroin and opium and morphine and all that crazy shit into Europe. Oh my god, man. What a world. Time for follow-up. Follow-up. Oh, let me get the screen back. Get back here, you little motherfucker. Hell yeah. Israeli talks ramp up as final election count tightens deadlock. I actually still don't know much about this, so we're just kind of going to go into it as we're going to learn as we go. Israel's two main parties have entered tense negotiations to form unity government. Ew, that sounds. That don't sound right. After final results from last week's election confirmed an inconclusive razor-thin margin between them. Who's this guy? Benny Gantz. Blue and White Party? The Blue and White Party. Are they at least better than the Likud? Or the Likud? Hold up. I want to look up the Blue and White Party. They sound interesting. All right. I did. What the fuck? That is not what I wanted. Whoa. No. Go away. I want the Israel, not ideas of like random thing. It's a centrist and liberal political alliance in Israel. Oh. A centrist. Well, I guess that means they are technically better than Likud. Oh, here, let me bring it up for you guys. What am I doing? Here you go. Boom. They're an alliance. Blue, dark blue, white, azure. Customary. Benny Gantz. Soldier and politician. Okay, cool. Whatever. The party was established to run in the April 2019 Knesset elections by the Israeli Resilience Party, Yesh Atid and Telem, in hopes of defeating Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Ugh, what a war criminal. Blue and White defines itself as a pluralistic party representing all citizens on the political and religious spectrums. How? I don't know. Who cares? Symbolism. The phrase blue and white refers to the colors of the Israeli flag. I guess that. And it's colloquially used to describe something as being typically Israeli. I don't know how that means. Pluralistically represent all, whatever. So they're just basically nationalist liberalism. What the fuck is that? What? How do you, how does that work? Ignarism, maybe? I guess. I don't know. We could probably do one and discuss, Mosh, Bogi, Ya Alon. Ya Alon. God, it looks like a fucking egg. It looks like a goddamn egg. Holy shit. Oh my god. Anyway. Well, I guess that's it. So they're just some centrist. Well, yeah, of course they're Zionists. I'm not surprised. Whatever. They're better, but not that much. Well, I don't know. It seemed like if they're at least not going to copy this war criminal's piece of shit's face, then whatever. I guess it'll be okay. The central statement said the president already made preparations to announce a candidate. They have a prime minister and a president? What the fuck? Where was I at? God damn it, I just lost my spot. Why did I do that? Where was it? Why did I just do that? Oh. Announced that a candidate as early 8 p.m. was unclear if announcement was a tactic to pressure two candidates to agree to work together or a genuine intention to pick one of them. The Central Election Committee released an official vote tally earlier on Wednesday showing that Netanyahu's Likud party, one seat behind the Blue and White Party, run by former military chief Gantz. Critically, neither had enough support from lawmakers in the 120-seat Knesset to form a majority coalition. Oh, that went out my nose. There was, however, a little optimism that they could forge a deal, as both men have demanded the top seat. Gantz, whose election campaign focused on ending the Prime Minister's 13-year rule, has also repeatedly pledged not to serve with Netanyahu while he faces 3 potential indictments for corruption. Okay, here's some graphs and stuff for y'all. There is a precedent in Israel for political rivals to serve together after Yitzhak Shamir and Shimon Peres. That's like, that might as well be Perez, dude. Rotated the role of prime minister to the mid-'80s, agreeing to serve 2 years. If they do reach an agreement, Netanyahu would be under added pressure to serve first. Prime ministers are not required to step down if indicted for corruption. What? Sounds like a problem in your system. If a corruption is pretrial hearing is set for early October, he has denied all allegations. Of course, because he's a corrupt war criminal. Anyway, yeah, I just kind of thought I'd follow up with some shit going on in Israel, because I mentioned something the last time about, their elections and shit, and I kind of figured I'd pop my ear in to see what's going on again. So it seems like, honestly, Netanyahu definitely kind of has, from the sounds of it, a little something to worry about. I don't know about this. I don't know who this Gantz is, honestly. From the sounds of it seems like this guy's better. Let's actually go to this dude. Political career. No, what the fuck? It's February 2019, an Israeli-American woman accused Gantz of exposing himself to her 40 years earlier. 40 years earlier? Oh, my lord. Causing her traumatic disorders. Gantz denied all allegations, claiming that such an incident never took place and that the allegations were politically motivated. Gantz has since sued the woman for defamation. Damn. Okay, I don't know if that's true or not. For 40 years ago, I don't even know or really care at that point. If it happened, I feel bad for her. If not, whatever. It doesn't really say too much besides that, I guess. Well, hold on. That was personal life, actually. Never mind. Pledged to strengthen Israeli settlement blocks in the West Bank and said Israel would never leave the Golan Heights. He neither endorsed nor rejected a two-state solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The Jordan Valley will be our border, but we won't let millions of Palestinians live beyond the fence to endanger our identity as a Jewish state. Oh, my God. Bleh. 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 Fuck you, bleh. Never mind. Bleh. Fuck you, bleh. 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 God, so it seems like Israel ain't really going to change much. Israel ain't changed much. I don't know why that's up there either. Yay. Yay. Yay, 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 yeah. Israel not gonna change much, regardless of Netanyahu's gone. Sounds like they got the status quo going on, even so. Seems like the agreement is just how much governmental control they want to have over that process, it sounds like, or something. I don't know. But it sounds like they're gonna keep up their bullshit. Sounds like they're gonna keep up the bullshit. Oh, as a little side note, for the last commentary I did for the filmographic nihilists with the Caucasian prisoner and Attack of the Super Monsters, well, I found out something. So, the first movie, Attack of the Super Monsters, that we did, is only claimed in Japan. The last one is claimed literally everywhere. So, the last movie, even though it's free and not copyright struck on fucking YouTube, just there, I apparently can't do a commentary of it. I'm going to probably do a dispute, but I want to have a homie over and make sure that I can word it out the best way possible, so I could probably succeed in the dispute and shit. The other one I'm not worried about. It's just Japan. That's it. That's blocked in. Everywhere else, it's public. So, if I can at least get the last movie we did, that was in like the USSR and shit, like in that 80s Caucasan film, then I'll be happy. I don't need to deal with the dispute for the other one. If it's just in Japan, at that point, I don't really care. If it was like half the world, like Japan, Asia, Europe, it's like, okay, and that's a little like, all right, I don't need, all right. Anyway, well, just gotta love copyright and shit. Anyway, so I'm gonna smoke this last bowl, all that fun shit. I've been getting phone calls left and right since I've been doing this. It's getting annoying. So, man, just remember, what would Paula Bergald do? What would Paula Bergald do? All right, y'all. Get yourselves on out of here, because I'm going to do the same now. Gonna get a nice, even